Hi, Tom here from Fuzzy Labs. I'd like to tell you about a new project we've started. We've built a bit of a reputation for some quirky projects. First one we did was AI for your feet, where we strapped some hardware to our shoes and went for a run. There was some machine learning built into that. Then we did this thing with Dobble. Dobble's a kid's card game. Went to the competition. We actually won the competition. And this was all demonstrating how to use machine learning operations to take a machine learning model, put it into a production situation. So we've got a new project we've started last week, actually. The team have already kicked it off. So I need to get this video out so that they can start telling you about what they're actually doing with the project. So the thing we're going to do, it's quite topical. When we did the last project, the Dobble project, ChatGPT hadn't come out and nobody had heard of it. Obviously, it's come out now. It's in the mainstream. Everyone's talking about AI and machine learning. But machine learning operations, MLOps, translates to these large language models and generative AI. You're still building a machine learning model, putting data into it, training it, and then putting it into production. It just costs a lot more money to build these things because they're trained with ridiculous amounts of data, costs millions of dollars to train the thing, and then you've got to obviously deploy it. However, that doesn't mean that this capability is just restricted to the big players like OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, etc. They've got the billions, the millions to train these things, but there are open source versions of these large language models, and they can be used as a great foundation to build your own application on top of it. So we want to show the same thing with open source MLOps tools, open source large language models, building an end-to-end solution that's completely customized to whatever you want to do. So we wanted to come up with a demonstration, and we also wanted to show that we care about the impact these large language models are going to have on society. There's lots of talk about, is it going to take our jobs? Is the world going to end because the robots are coming because of AI? I mean, it might, but we can't do anything about that. All we can do is show that we want to work with and we want to produce projects that have positive impacts on society and on the world. So what we're going to do is build a large language model that's specialized on some mental health training data. So we're going to take a couple of well-respected sources, take that data, layer it on top of an existing large language model. It's called fine-tuning. The team will talk about that in later blogs in terms of techniques. We're going to customize that model and then create something which could be queried, and you can ask it a question to say, I'm feeling this kind of way, what should I do? No, we're not going to do that. What we're not going to do is make a virtual counselor. It's going to be a knowledge base you can query, but you can query it in a human way and ask it questions as you would another human being, and then it will give you an answer back. The nice thing about what we're going to do here is that we're going to take two sources and it will give you back both responses, and you can compare the answers. And also, we can compare the differences between the two. So it might say, this source said this source said something else, and here's the differences between them. So that's the intention. We want to use open source MLOps tools to build an open source large language model to build an app that has mental health data behind it. There's going to be a whole series of content coming out. The team are going to talk about all the techniques they're going to use, why they're doing it, people that are involved. We're going to get really under the covers. So keep following us on LinkedIn and hope you enjoy it. Any feedback you've got, we'd love to hear it. Take care. See you soon.